Good morning, students. We will start law of vector algebra. What is law of vector algebra? Two or more vectors are added by this law. First law is triangle law. According to this law, if two vectors are represented by two sides of triangle by two sides of triangle in same order both in magnitude and direction then the third side of triangle represent their resultant in opposite order both in magnitude and direction. For example, if a vector A vector and B vector in same order, then their resultant is the third side of the triangle in opposite order, and it is written as R vector equal to A vector plus B vector. And if a vector A vector written by this and B vector written by this, then the resultant is, this is minus B, then the resultant is the opposite side of the third R vector, and it is written as R vector equal to A vector minus, yes, this is follow commutative law, obey commutative law, because A vector plus B vector equal to B vector plus A vector, but does not obey commutative law, because A vector minus B vector is not equal to B vector minus A vector. Now, second law is parallelogram law. This is very important for vector algebra. According to this law, if two vectors acting simultaneously at a point are represented by two adjacent side of parallelogram both in magnitude and direction, then their resultant will be represented by its diagonal passing through that point, both in magnitude and direction. If two vectors A vector and B vector simultaneously at a point this O vector, then the resultant will be represented by the diagonal passing through that point. Now, the mathematical expression for magnitude and direction of vector. Magnitude and direction. Suppose the angle between two vectors is theta. So we can a a vector draw parallel to the B vector. This is called B. So a perpendicular is drawn at A vector. The angle between the resultant and A vector is alpha and the angle is theta. So we can write here the theta, it is a perpendicular, and this is the B sine theta and this is the B cos theta. We can mark it O, P, Q, R, triangle, right angle triangle, O, Q, S. OQ square equal to OR plus RS square plus QS square. And we know that OR equal to A, RS equal to B cos of theta and QS equal to B sin of theta. So R square equal to A plus B cos of theta का square plus B sin of theta square. We can solve it. A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos of theta plus B square sin square theta. So A square plus B square common of cos square theta plus sin square theta plus 2AB cos of theta. We know cos square theta plus sin square theta equal to 1. So A square plus B square plus 2AB cos of theta. This is R square, this is R square, and we can write it the R equal to under root A square plus B square plus this is the magnitude of resultant of two vectors where theta is the angle between two vectors. If alpha is the angle between R vector and A vector, then tan alpha equal to QS upon OS, S upon OS. We can write it QS is the B sin theta and OS equal to A plus B cos of theta. So alpha equal to tan inverse B sin theta upon A plus B cos of theta. This the angle between R and A. Special case. Case 1. If theta equal to 0 degree, then R equal to cos 0 equal to 1. Then R equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB. So R equal to A plus B. Case 2. If theta equal to 180 degree, then cos 180 equal to minus 1. Then R equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB minus 1. Then R equal to A minus B. Theta equal to 90 degree, then R equal to 0. We can write here R is greater than A minus B and less than A plus B. It may be equal. Example: 4 Newton and 3 Newton are acted simultaneously perpendicular to each other. Perpendicular to each other. Okay. Perpendicular to each other. Then their resultant is f equal to under root 4 square plus 3 square plus 0 equal under root 16 plus 9 equal to 25 and under root 25 equal to 5 Newton. The resultant of two vectors is 5 Newton. Here, when theta is 90 degree, then cos 90 is 0 and r is under root a square plus b square. The third one is polygon law. According to this law, if number of vectors are represented by sides of polygons in same order, then its closing side represent their resultant vector. Some vectors T vector. Then their closing side represent the R vector. R vector equal to A vector plus B vector plus C vector plus D vector plus E vector. If the resultant is in the same direction of all vectors like this, A vector, B vector, C vector, D vector, E vector and R vector. This is then A vector plus B vector plus C vector plus D vector plus E vector plus R vector equal to 0. Then R vector equal to minus A vector plus B vector plus C vector plus D vector and plus E vector. For example, if A, this is ABC, this is O, then O vector plus OC vector plus OB vector equal to 0 and AB vector plus BC vector plus AC vector CA vector equal to 0. AB vector plus BC vector plus AC vector equal to N into A. So we know that AB plus BC equal to AC vector plus AC vector equal to NA. Then N equal to 2. Now very important vectors is component of rectangular component. Suppose a vector A vector is at an angle theta with horizontal. Then the horizontal component is A cos of theta with horizontal and A sin of theta with vertical. Example 2, 3, 4. The magnitude of this 3, 2, 4 and the angle is 30 degree. This is time and this is velocity, acceleration per second square. Then this is 2 cos of 30 and this is 2 sin of 30. So in x direction 2 cos of 30 plus 3 equal to 2 root 3 by 2 plus 3 equal to root 3 plus 3 and in y direction 2 sin theta plus 4. 2 into and sin theta is 30 degree and 1 by 2 plus 4 equal to 5.